everyone, and welcome to Let's Cook. I'm your host, Chef Jimmy, and today we'll be cooking baked cod with a fresh basil tomato sauce along with a pan-seared asparagus right after these messages.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds, the freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie, the freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Hello and welcome back to Let's Cook. Again, today our menu for today, we're going to have our baked cod with our fresh basil tomato sauce and our pan-seared asparagus. So now let me introduce you to the stars of the show, which is our ingredients. Okay, today what we're going to do, we have our cod. You can either buy frozen cod or you can buy fresh cod, according to what you want to spend. Fresh cod is always good, okay? Frozen cod is good as well, all right? Now, the next star of the show is our asparagus. Okay, so asparagus comes in many different sizes and shapes. You can go get thin asparagus and you can get thick asparagus. So we're going to make these asparagus yummy for you. Also, for our fresh basil and tomato sauce, we're going to use fresh basil, but also we got our spaghetti sauce. We got canned spaghetti sauce, but one thing I like to do when I use buy any types of sauces, I like to buy those that got the little extras. Some has garlic, some has a little basil in them, and some has, those little extra things, maybe some green chilies or things like that to help spruce up the sauce. So, and then we got 2 cans of just regular diced tomatoes, and you can get those anywhere. They're very inexpensive. And also, we're going to be using my J. Mitchell's Italian blend. So we're going to be seasoning our cod with my Italian blend. And also, we have our J. Mitchell's Cajun garlic pepper. This is some great stuff. So we're going to be seasoning our asparagus with this, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and let's start getting everything prepped because I am hungry today. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our asparagus. And one of the things that you do with asparagus, you always want to cut at least a couple of inches from the bottom because they're they're pretty tough, okay? So we're gonna cut that off, throw that to the side. Just put them babies over there. Okay, even them out here. And remember, claw. You don't want to lose no fingers, okay? Cut that right there. All right, so for the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and season these up. So we're gonna use just a little of the basic oil. So I'm just gonna pour a little oil on here, gonna roll them around. And what the oil does, the oil makes the seasonings adhere to it, adhere to whatever product that you're using, okay? Whether it's vegetables, whether it's a meat, and it's really great. It's a really great extra little seasoning there. All right, now let's go ahead and use our J. Mitchell's Cajun garlic pepper. All right, we're gonna sprinkle in good, go all the way to the top, from the top to the bottom, and then we're gonna roll them around a little bit. So we want to get all the sides, and it smells so good. You gotta go and get this. This will take your dish to the next level. So we're gonna set that there, and we're gonna let him simmer. Let me get a little more. I missed a spot there. All right, okay, that is good. So we're gonna set this aside. Put that in there. Wash your hands. Give me that. Yeah. And so we're going to go ahead and prep our cod. Man, that smells so good. I wish you had smell of it. But anyway, you can get my products, www.spicesandsauces.org. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Google Marketplace. So hit me up. You'll enjoy every product that you order. Okay, now let's prep our cod. One thing I like to do, even if I'm baking cod, because one thing that I do, I take out the moisture, and so I patted it all down, and so now I'm going to add a little of this vegetable oil, just a little vegetable oil, and that way also the spices can adhere to this too. Okay. Using J. Mitchell's Italian blend. So we're gonna season them up pretty good. Now one thing I learned when you're using any spices or seasonings, when you're putting it on meat, you wanna kind of pat it in there a little bit, because a lot of times when you put spices on your food, when you're cooking, especially meats, when you flip it over, all your spices come off. How many of you have that happen to? I know. So we're gonna, man, this smells good too. Wow. Just gonna season them up good. Got these little bitty ends here. So we're gonna use every piece. Alrighty. Always, anytime you season any meat, season both sides. Okay? Rule of thumb, season both sides. There you go. All right, get a little of this oil on here. Rub that in there a little bit. Don't massage the cod. All right, that was a little side joke. All right. Come on. There you go. One thing I love to do when I'm cooking, I love to have fun. And for those of you who know me and see me out, doing different events, I love having fun cooking. And so anytime I do any classes, I want to make sure that you have fun as well. You enjoy it. Okay. Now, again, remember, these meals are very inexpensive, quick meals. The bachelor can cook, a single mom, maybe one or two kids, single dad, maybe you have one or two kids. But these are quick and simple meals. You don't have to go to culinary school to cook these, okay? Now, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put some fresh thyme on the bottom. I'm going to line it up with some fresh thyme. And also herbs, fresh herbs are really, really, really great in any cooking. Okay, so we're going to put a little butter on the bottom. Yeah. So when these go in the oven, it's also going to give that little extra flavor. All right, now let's go ahead and stick our cod in there. The cooking time on this cod is according to the thickness, and if you see how thick this cod is, we're going to cover it with some foil, and it's not going to take no more than 15 or 20 minutes in a 360-degree oven. Okay, so that means you ain't got to wait all day for your meal. Inexpensive and kind of quick. Okay, yeah, let's get all these goodies off here. Yeah, go. And we're going to put a little slither of butter on the top of each piece, also to help retain that moisture in the fish and also give it that little added flavor. There you go. And we're just gonna, ain't no need of saving that. Throw that on in there because all that's going to be incorporated in our cod. Okay. Now, that wasn't hard, was it? Nope. That wasn't long, was it? Nope. Quick, simple, easy meal. This is what it looks like right now. See? We're gonna throw these last pieces of fresh thyme on here. Okay, that's what it looks like right now. And we're just gonna throw this foil on there. Cover him up good. And some people may ask, how come you're not putting no liquids in there? Good question. Because for one, the cod, it still has water in it. So it's not all the way dry. So it still has some liquid in there. And that liquid is going to mix with the butter in here, and it's going to create a type of a steam that's going to cook it. Okay? See, didn't know that, did you? Now you got another tool in your belt. Okay? All right, so we're getting ready to wrap this section up, and we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven. And then when we come back, we're going to get ready to do our fresh basil tomato sauce, and then we're going to throw these great asparagus, great smelling asparagus in the skillet, and we're going to see what's going to happen, okay? All right, so we will see you when we return from these messages.
What is it, Julia? Why are you so excited, honey?
Hey, do you want to use your talker? With Julia's autism, using a talker can help her find the words she wants to say.
My dog.
You want to do something with Rose, Julia?
play ball.
Do you want to play catch with Rose? Oh, I think Rose is excited to play catch too. Oh, Julia, you show us so many different ways to talk together. Oh, and play. Good catch, Rose. Okay, give Julia the ball. There you go. Okay, throw the ball, Julia. Oh,
For Julia's family, early screening for autism made a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
okay, Julia, there you go. Oh, another good throw. That's the way.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody. We're getting this show on the road. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cutting up our basil, our fresh basil. This right here you can get at most stores. This is called Thai basil. And you can get this at any of your local grocery stores. Now this basil here, this is sweet basil, and this basil comes out of my herb garden. So I bought two different types of basils. I think there's like about 10 different types of basils. There's a lot of different types of basils. So you can go and you can fill them and smell them and see which ones you like. Also, I found out there is even a cinnamon basil. I ain't gonna touch it. But just for your information, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and chop up this basil because we need to go ahead. I got our pans on over there. We're just gonna go ahead and chop it up. So when you do the basil, it don't have to be nothing fancy, no fancy chopping, no culinary chopping. Just chop it up. Man, if you could smell this, I mean, the aroma is magnificent. And we're not going to do the stalks, but what you do is just peel them off. Just peel them off the little stalks there. And see, some of them, they even bud little flowers. All righty. Okay, here. Man, that smells good. So we just bunch them up here. And gonna meet you over here at the store. This is what I call the store over here. This is where everything's at. Okay, so we're gonna set this right here for now. So we're gonna go ahead and put our asparagus in the pan, which is good and hot. Here, let's get these. Get that in there. Get that in there. Gonna get some of these smaller pieces. Look at that big old piece there. Trying to jump in my skillet. There we go. But we're not going to crowd the skillet too much, but we're going to go ahead and put those in there, leave those in there for a minute. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to go ahead and put our sauce in. Yeah, that's what you want. Look at that, he's ready to go. Woo! Having flashbacks of the restaurants. Now you want to put your sauces in. And after you put your sauces in, we're going to go get our basil, get our fresh basil, and we're going to just put it in there. Yeah. And from there, whoa, what a noise. And from there, we're just going to mix our basil in with our tomato sauce. So one of the reasons why I got spaghetti sauce, because spaghetti sauce is a little thicker, and also it has a good flavor. I like the flavor. Inexpensive. And so remember, we're being budget conscious. And we're going to use a little of my Italian blend, J. Mitchell's Italian blend in here. Oh, this is going to be some great stuff. Mix it in there. Stir him up a little bit. There we go. And we're going to put our lid over here. Cover him up. We'll turn our heat up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and check on some of these asparaguses. Yeah, we want to let them cook long enough to get a little char. Now I'm going to bring these over here because they're a little longer than the pan. So, what do you do when you have asparagus longer than the pan? You cut them off. Okay? So we're just going to cut a little off. There you go. Now, this will definitely fit in our pan. Okay? All right, let me wash my hands here. Okay, now let's come on back over here. Man, I wish you could smell this. So we're gonna give them a little half a turn. So we want them cooked a little evenly. Give them a half turn, give them a half turn. Now notice I didn't put a lot of oil in the pan. That's because we're not deep frying the asparagus. We're just pan searing it, okay? And also that the asparagus did have oil on it before, all right? So, while this is cooking, while our cod's about ready to be taken out the oven, it's not gonna take our sauce about 10 minutes, and we're gonna plate this up, and we're gonna see what it tastes like, okay? And we'll be right back right after these messages.
If I could be you, and you could be me, for just 1 hour, if we could find a way to get inside each other's minds, if you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're ready to throw down. Now, our baked cod is ready. We have our basil tomato sauce, our fresh basil tomato. Look at that. Fresh basil tomato sauce. Well, it's really not sauce, but fresh basil and tomatoes. How about, let's do like that. And our pan-seared asparagus. All right. The one thing I do want to share with you all is anytime you're cooking a canned tomato product that has a lot of juice in it, tomatoes carry a lot of acid. And so when you're cooking canned tomato products, you want to cook them a little while, because what happens is when you taste it and you get that like metallic taste, then you'd be wondering, why does it taste bitter? Why is it metallic-y? That's the acid that's in the tomatoes, in that tomato sauce, you know, where you get a can of diced tomatoes and has the juice, or stewed tomatoes, all that. It has a lot of acid in it. So you have to cook that out. And so sometimes the cooking time, even if you're doing this dish, it might take you might have to give it maybe about 15 to 20 minutes to cook and to cook out. And sometimes what we do in the culinary field, we skim off the longer you cook any tomato products like that, the acid would rise to the top of your pot. And so we skim it off, and we skim it off until it doesn't have any more. And so what that does, that helps tame down that acid metallic flavor. Okay. All right. That was free. That was a free tip. Okay. And also, one of the other things about asparagus, when cooking asparagus, because some people don't like it because they had a bad experience, it wasn't cooked long enough, and it was bitter, it was hard. And it's according to how long you cook the asparagus, whether it's grilling, whether it's baking. Everybody's taste is different. And so what I like to cook it two ways. I like to cook it like a medium where it has a little al dente. And al dente just means it's a little firm. Okay, and also sometimes I just like to char it. And what that does, that really breaks the fibers down, and it tastes like a green bean, like a really good seasoned green bean. Okay, so those tips were free, and so now let's go ahead and plate this great meal. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a base of our sauce. Yeah, that looks good. Now I did taste the cod while we were on break, just to make sure that it was good for you all, because I don't want to plate nothing that's not good, so I taste it. And you might be asking or wondering, I heard somebody say, where's all the asparagus that he cut up? I ate some of it. See, I had to taste it. See, come on. So I got 4 left. All right, don't judge me. Okay, now that looks good. That's a good plate there. So now let's go ahead and throw this cod on. Let's get this out the way, because I'm ready to get serious about this thing. Looks good. Now let's throw this cod on. We'll take the thyme off. And wow, this is so good. This is so good. Look, it's so tender, it's breaking apart. We're gonna take those little extra thyme flakes off, put it right there. Ooh, that looks good. We're gonna get this nice big juicy piece. Yeah, give him a little of that butter. Yeah, butter liquid there. Yeah, put him. Yeah, then we're gonna just slant him over to the side. How about that? Now, what I was sharing earlier in the program is about the different types of cod. You can get fresh cod or you can get frozen cod. Now, this cod right here is frozen. It comes in little individual packs, and what you do as you let it unthaw, you let it unthaw into packs. And if you notice earlier in the show, I did not put any water, any liquid in there. I just put the thyme on the bottom and then the butter. Now, look how much liquid that was in this pan that came from the cod. And like I was sharing with you, anytime you get a frozen fish, it always usually will retain water. So take note of that the next time you're baking fish, or whether it's in a casserole dish or on a flat sheet pan or whatever, that it's going to have some type of water content in it, okay? Versus fresh fish. All right, but nevertheless, this fish is really good. So that's a butter. This is more like I call it butter juice. So it's a butter juice. So let's go ahead and stop all this talking, because I'm hungry. I didn't eat today. That's why I ate all the asparagus. Okay, so we're just gonna make this plate look a little dapper here. Get some of this asparagus, and there. Now I got some dry parsley. We're just gonna sprinkle it around here just for a little garnish. There you go. There you go. Voila. There. Look at that. We get all this out the way. Look at that masterpiece there. Look at that. How you like me now? Now we're gonna handle some business. First, I'm gonna eat my little char piece of asparagus. I love it. With my Cajun garlic pepper on there, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Now we're gonna go ahead and dig in. So I'm gonna make you jealous. There you go. Get some of that in there. Hey, there's no protocol when you're eating this type of meal. That's wonderful. Baked cod, fresh basil, tomatoes, with the pan-seared asparagus. Okay? Until next time, you have a good bite and enjoy every moment of it. See you, bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Cook. I am your host, Chef Jimmy, and today we're going to have a fabulous meal for you. But before then, we're going to return right back with whatever, what?
And don't look at that camera, this camera.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm already thinking this one.
Yeah, this is your main camera.
Oh,
this camera catches the food prep segment. So
that's what I'm like.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
yeah,
that camera.
You, right there. Oh, okay. Duh.